and welcome to the Clarion News Studio here in Kuala Lumpur. Today I'm joined with Carsten Dommermuth, and we're going to be looking at the LNG markets, specifically within the Asia Pacific region. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Carsten, what are the latest developments in LNG to power, specifically within Asia Pacific?
I think, LNG is a big story since the last 10 years when we saw that countries like Qatar and Australia was exploring the export of liquefied natural gas into the world. And what we have seen in the past 10 years is that we have now a very strong, I would say, bargaining power from the customer side. So we have huge volumes which are tradable on a global level on LNG. So when you would ask me maybe 10 years ago if LNG would be really a choice for power generation, I would say maybe no. But today we see that the fuel LNG converted into natural gas is really competitive to other fuels like heavy fuel oil or also coal. So this means you have huge opportunity with LNG to reduce the environmental footprint of the entire power generation market.
And do you see LNG as a suitable complementary resource with renewables?
Absolutely, absolutely. That's a great question, and I think especially with the flexibility of gas-fired power generation installations, you have a great opportunity to supply the renewables, which will be the new base load power in the global energy economy. And this really enables I would say, the renewables to deliver 24/7 electricity. So the combination of fluctuating renewables out of solar and wind, plus the supply of natural gas installations, will really deliver a sustainable portfolio for the next years.
And within the context of a flexible power generating model, how do you see small-scale LNG fitting within that?
Yeah, this is really the interesting side. So in the past, maybe when you saw the huge utilities, they were building up installations 500, 1,000 megawatt. But now with the very competitive price of LNG, it is feasible, and the business case is it flies really that you can start with 50, with 80, with 100, 150 megawatt. And this is really interesting. This empowers also I would say, the small IPPs, the smaller utilities on islands, in remote locations to use small-scale LNG to power solutions. I'll give you one example. Gibraltar, for example, it's 80 megawatt installation, which is now since the beginning of the year under commercial operation. They decided to switch from heavy fuel oil operation into small-scale LNG. And they have built a power plant with our engines, and together with Shell, they built an LNG import facility with 5,000 cubic meter storage. And this is really, I would say, a lighthouse project in Central Europe, which is a good example how it can work, especially here in Asia, where you have maybe 80 or 100 megawatt of installations in the grid. Yeah.
And how do you see the Asia Pacific utility model transitioning and developing within the next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, this is an interesting thing on the macroeconomic side. We know we do a lot in Europe to reduce emissions, but the huge lever can be realized here in Asia. So especially when you look to the macroeconomic figures, you have double digits growth here in the economic. GDP growth is very strong. But on the other hand, you have a lot of coal-fired installations which are polluting a lot of CO2. And especially natural gas has the opportunity to reduce on the very high efficient level by using engines or maybe high efficient turbines to reduce the CO2 footprint and realize maybe an economic growth with low CO2 impact. So it's indeed a very, very interesting opportunity to reduce the environmental footprint, especially in Asia Pacific.
Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your insights with us. For more industry-related content, you can follow the on-screen address or subscribe to our YouTube channel.